welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming part 2 of my BPD segment. So in part 1 I kind of spoke about what BPD is and some kind of methods that you can use to get through it. And today I'm going to be talking about my own experience and how I kind of pushed through it before I discovered these methods. So please keep on watching. I was diagnosed with BPD about a year ago now. I think I probably had it since I was about 16 years old. I started experiencing anxiety and depression before BPD, so I think that my vulnerability due to my anxiety and my BPD, as well as hereditary factors, have contributed to my development of the disorder. I pushed through it for a really long time. I was only diagnosed a year ago, and when I was 22, so 6 years it took for me to actually do something about it. And it was around the time that I started seeing a psychologist for my mental health. So I ignored it for a very long time. Some of the main experiences I had, or symptoms that I had with BPD, the most major one was a fear of abandonment, and that has something to do with what triggered my BPD, which I won't get into, but it really shattered my belief in love. I didn't believe in love or even unconditional love from family. I considered that every relationship would eventually break down, and figured that I would be lonely for the rest of my life. I would self-sabotage my friendships with people because of that fear, because at least then I was in control of the destruction, if that makes sense. The best way I know how to describe it is when you're anticipating something that you're afraid of. That was how I was constantly living. I was constantly living in fear that my relationships would fall apart and I would be lonely. But I also thought it was inevitable. So I would self-destruct those relationships, because then at least I wouldn't be anticipating it, and it was happening in that moment, and I could control what was happening, how it was happening, and I could even anticipate what would happen because I was controlling it. So that was very destructive behavior for me. Another thing, I have never been in a relationship. I'm 23 years old. That's due to a lot of factors, but I definitely think that one of them is because of my fear of abandonment. I would never have engaged with somebody in a romantic sense because I never thought it would work out. So A, I didn't think it was fair to the other person, and B, I was just way too scared to do it. Way too scared. I've since changed, thanks to some lovely people that I know, and they know who they are. But it was definitely my biggest symptom was the fear of abandonment. Another big symptom that I experienced was substance abuse and risk-taking behavior. I am a comfort eater, and a lot of people don't consider food as substance abuse, but it really can be. So I used to be quite seriously overweight. I still am overweight, but nothing like how I used to be. I've lost about 10 kilos in the last 6 months. I don't look like it, unfortunately, but I have. But yeah, I would turn to food because food was a reliable friend almost. It's pretty lame, but that's how I saw food. It was a comfort whenever I was having an emotional breakdown, which was every day. Literally, food was there. I also relied heavily on alcohol, and relied sometimes on smoking. My risk-taking behavior would be with men. When it came to men, I don't really like to talk about it, to be honest, but to put it bluntly, I would always be in control of the situation, and I would always be the one cutting them off. Sometimes they cut me off, but they were the real like fuckboy kinds, like the real fuckboy kinds, like yeah. But majority of them, I was always controlling the situation. I was always cutting them off. I never wanted it to be anything beyond what it was, and would never engage emotionally with them. If I found myself liking them, I would intentionally tell them terrible things about myself so that they would hate me. So, because then there was no risk of them then liking me and then hating me again, because I was so afraid that someone would actually see some value in me and then think that they were wrong in seeing value in me and then hate me all over again, if that makes sense. It will make sense to people who have BPD. So I experienced very intense mood swings. I could be feeling pretty okay in the morning and by the afternoon be thinking of the next way to hurt myself. Chronic feeling of emptiness was really huge for me. I remember one time, like, I'm not a religious person, but I remember thinking if there's such a thing as a demon and being possessed, I feel like that right now, because I didn't know. I can't even describe it to you. It feels like a possession of emptiness. It's an awful feeling, a really awful feeling. But how did I get through? So I engaged with the use of dialectical behavioural therapy. My favourite thing was to pick a colour and you find 5 things in your surroundings that you can see that colour in. So I would always pick green because I can always find 5 green trees. You can do it with any sense, so pick a sound, see if you can find that sound in 5 other places. Another thing that you can do with dialectical behavioural therapy, if you pardon me, self-harm, you can get some cubes of ice out of the freezer and hold them until it hurts, and hopefully that will get that need out of you without you actually harming yourself. I of course also went on antidepressants. No longer being depressed and no longer being anxious makes it a lot easier to handle the side or the symptoms of borderline personality disorder, I found, because I'm motivated now to work on those things. I have found that everything to do with my relationships have improved with the people I love, because I'm no longer sabotaging those relationships. Because of that improve and the increase in healthiness in my relationships. I know that there's a better way I could put that together, but my brain's malfunctioning. I am no longer nearly as afraid as I used to be of being alone. I've got a healthy fear of being alone for the rest of my life because I'm not in a relationship or anything, but I know that I have the people that love me. Another huge step for me when I felt capable enough to do it was to reach out to people that showed me that they cared about me. I made quite the effort to sabotage a lot of my friendships, and those people that are still in my life today, I love them so much because they stood by me and they persevered through my shittiness, and it just kind of makes me like a bit flustered and teary because I'm just so grateful for them, and friendships have been a huge part of me getting better because people don't know how good they are for you. They don't know the good that they do for you a lot of the time, and just them being there for me, and when I say being there for me, I literally mean just a text or something, is amazing. But I'm blessed in that I have some amazing friends that I can talk to about my emotions and my insecurities, and I understand that not everybody has that, but I would encourage you to find somebody, even a professional who you can talk to about those insecurities. I know my psychologist is like my friend, so I really feel more like that social engagement with her than I do like a professional engagement, and maybe that is something that you could try to resource. So I hope these videos are useful. Definitely resource, DBT therapy, medication, and engage positively with your friends. I hope this is helpful for somebody, and all the best. Thanks.